I love desserts, and I noticed that whenever I do like food reviews on desserts, they get more engagement than the rest of the food. So, and being in Bahrain, like this is the land of halwa.
Yeah,
If you
of
think
course.
about it, like people love desserts. So I wanted to bring something unique to the island, and this is how it all started.
Were you more interested beginning your dessert career in creating simpler but very refined, or would you be more interested in the more complex and the more complicated? In the sense of, you know, the Napoleon dessert, whatever that's called?
Paris Brest?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because I know that's like quite high in your
Yeah.
skill level that you need versus like a vanilla ice cream.
So, I mean, like, mostly I miss desserts from back home. Like, back in Lebanon, we have some really good patisseries. And I noticed here that there's a big trend. I call it the chocolate vomit.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything just drowned in syrup and Nutella, and they just call this dessert. So I wanted to create something that is light and delicious, and you can enjoy after a heavy meal, and not for it to be like the meal.
And how would you choose the places you were critiquing on Instagram?
So basically, when I first started, I would go to restaurants and I would order and give my review. But
To the restaurant itself?
yes.
I can't imagine a lot of them would be like, oh, thank you. They've been like, oh, yeah, yeah.
And I would post them on Instagram.
Yeah, I think then they cared a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah. So later on, I got sued like 3 times.
I'm not surprised.
I got hacked 3 times.
I'm not surprised. I'm very sorry to hear that, though.
Thank you. And once I got threatened to be burnt along with my car.
Wow.
Yeah. So after that, I decided that whenever a restaurant invite me for a review, I would make them sign a consent form that says, I'm going to review your food. I will mention the positive and the negative, but in a constructive way. So if they don't sign this waiver, I would not go and do the review.
That's very smart of you.
Yeah.
Did that help a little bit with the backlash?
I mean, like, it eliminated the threats and the lawsuits.
Really?
Yeah. And I also got myself a lawyer.
Okay, yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Well, when did the first negativity of it pop out? Did you already hit 1,000, 2,000, 5,000?
I think maybe around. I'm not really sure. I started in 2019, not long ago. But yeah, I mean, like, it was a mixture of like mukbang, food reviews, and just giving my honest opinion.
No. The only reason I'm wondering is because if I started your career path and I was maybe, let's say, 500 followers in, and I already got my first lawsuit, I'm not sure if I would be brave enough to then be like, you know what, I'm doing something here, and I'll push along, you know.
Actually, it gave me like a push forward.
Mashallah alik, you're very brave.
Felt, because with every review, especially like if it has a little bit, I'm not gonna say negative, like points of improvement, I would get like a surge of new followers. So yeah, and people's support meant a lot to me.
It's so weird to me and how fragile a lot of business owners' egos are. It's crazy to me, and I don't understand how you can run a business if you know every like hiccup is going to go wild.
I mean, now having a restaurant, I kind of know what they feel, but I mean, once you get like a review from a customer, you can tell if it's like constructive, if it's subjective, or they're just hating on you.
Or just want a discount.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So usually, like when I give reviews, I don't use words like bad or terrible or don't go to that place. I just describe the food as it is, and that's what a food critic is supposed to do.
I agree.
To accurately relay the experience to the audience.
And have you expanded your critique into further fields of food other than just desserts?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I do all sorts of cuisines.
Because you started mostly with desserts, sorry to interrupt you, right?
No.
Okay, it was all around
Everything,
food. Okay,
yes.
because I didn't go all the way back to your
It's
original
no
post.
worries. Yeah, so I do everything. I do everything. And I also do some products as well.
Okay.
Like olive oil, like some coffee. Yeah.
Mashallah alik, fantastic.
Good.
And do you have your own website that you sell it through, or how do you do the sales for?
Yeah, we do have Dona's Wonders.
Okay.
We do have our location in...
There we have it, right up.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And we do have our location in Sheikh Ibrahim Al Khalifa Center for Culture and Arts in
Oh,
Harrah.
mashallah. Mashallah.
So we started desserts, and then people were like, but we want to eat before the dessert.
Okay, yeah.
So I collaborated with Chef Fajr Al Mansouri, and she makes the rest of the food. These are her recipes.
Oh, this looks delicious.
And the desserts are mine.
Oh, fantastic. And who was it your original idea to go, you know what, I want to start a cuisine and I want to now, from going from reviews to business owner? Or did your friends and family influence you and said, hey, you know what, Dona, you keep talking about it, so maybe you should start doing it?
It just happened.
Just happened, yeah, it just fell into your lap. It is
yeah,
what it is.
I used to actually sell online twice a week.
Yeah.
Being a teacher, I couldn't do it full time. So Tuesday and Friday were the days.
Fantastic.
And I gotta thank Charlie Coxty for
Okay.
that. He gave me the idea, just do it twice a week. And then somehow my dessert reached to Sheikh Ibrahim Center. They really liked it. So they called me, they said, we have a proposal for you. This is a restaurant, come make your pari breast here.
Oh, mashallah. Mashallah, Alice.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated. Did you hire an outside firm to do that website and the upkeep and everything else?
The website is from Alligator.
Yeah.
They're very professional. I really like them.
Because it's not easy to get an website up and running, taking payments, and then making sure that the orders are fulfilled. That's its own whole nightmare.
True.
And how do you handle deliveries?
We do have a company that we
Sure.
work with.
Okay. So you don't hire a driver and then.
No, actually, parcel is so easy. I recommend every small business to have them. They eliminate the headache of, the whole driving and delivering thing.
And do you take payment online or do you take payment?
We do have online payments.
Okay.
Debit and credit. We're on Talabat as well. Talabat, Ahlan, Nutlub,
Perfect.
Homies.
Perfect.
Yep.
Can you scroll up and can we see some of the products? And not just the lovely food?
So you will see our signature dessert later on, the pari breast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the first one. So
You did mention about chocolate vomit, didn't you?
that's not really the most.
I mean,
No, go down.
3.
Hold on.
3.
But that's not like a whole chocolate syrup poured. Go down in a bit more.
Go then.
Okay, stop. So this is the tête au choco au tarbouche. This is a Lebanese treat. It's very, very old. Like every Lebanese kid has had it. So tarbouche is basically biscuit, merengue, and it's coated in Valrhona chocolate.
It looks delicious.
So the one you saw up there is the same thing, but it's covered with coconut.
Oh, okay. Is this your own recipe or more traditional stuff?
It's a Lebanese recipe, but I just make it more upscale.
Okay.
Tarbouche is a very, simple and basic thing, but adding Valrhona just takes it to a whole nother level.
I can imagine. Have you started experimenting, creating your own recipes as well?
Yes, I kind of made something by mistake, and it's amazing. It's so good. It's a cross between donuts and churros.
Okay.
And we call it duros.
That sounds delicious.
And it's like when you bite into it, it's a crisp, and then it's so empty and airy from inside. And we top it with crème mousseline, and there is melted Valrhona chocolate on the side.
Do you sell it already online so we can see a picture of it?
You can go up a bit.
Oh,
Yes.
that looks
But now
great.
what we just add is like basically we just put a scoop of cream in where the hole is.
Oh, that's clever.
I used to stuff the cream inside it,
Yeah,
but people wanted more cream.
I can imagine.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna.
Dump it all up
Yeah.
and call it a day. Do you do it with, is that sauce, that caramel sauce?
No, that's chocolate, Valrhona chocolate.
Valrhona chocolate. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
We do have another recipe of our own. It's called Dona Maria. It's over here, actually, you can see it. It's a version of tiramisu.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah. And back in 2019, I went to Florence for a cooking course. And after we're done, the instructor invited us to her home, and we met her nonna.
Okay.
So her nonna, she had like her own unique thing going on, and she shared with me this recipe of tiramisu. It was in Italian. And I was like, I had to translate it, and Apparently, like this is their family recipe or their take on tiramisu.
Okay, so
but it's so good.
so Dana just admitted to stealing a poor
Yeah.
family's recipe.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Nonna. Thank you. What do you say?
Gracias.
Gracias.
That's
No.
Spanish, but yeah.
Okay. Grazie.
Grazie is Italian. Oh, that's
gave it to
wonderful,
me.
though. That's wonderful.
So actually, I told my followers the story, and I was like, "What should we call it?" And they were like, "Dona Miso."
Dona Miso.
Dona Miso. Dona Miso.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Paris breast actually go down a bit more. So Paris breast is usually stuffed with crème mousseline, praline. I do change like the stuffing inside, like we did the ashta. It's like a Arabic version of it. It has a bit of rose water, orange blossom water, mystica. So it gives it that Arabic touch.
Wow. And how long did it take you to figure out your supply side of things? Because that's never easy, especially for a restaurant to get
Yes.
that also in order.
So when I first, actually the whole thing started when Bahrain TV asked me to come and do like a recipe for them. So I wanted to make a dessert because I always know like when I do desserts, lots of views. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And I wanted to do something unique. So I was like trying to find Paris breast. Did so many trial and error because the recipe won't work here because of our humidity. And this type of dough doesn't have any yeast. So it has to rise on the chemical balance of like eggs, sugar, and butter. Lots of trial and error until I figured it out.
Are you sure you're an English teacher, not a chemistry teacher? I mean,
I actually took a chemistry course on food.
yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, you knew exactly how that the humidity would be an issue for the cooking process.
And there's
the dough.
no solution online for it. Like I tried to search everywhere.
Oh God.
But it was like 4 months of trial and error, and I just make a batch, send it to my friends, and they come back to me with their feedback until we fixed it. For supplies, I don't mind sharing my supplier, let everyone benefit from it. So we got Tritata. They have a website. They sell like premium goods. They're really good. We have Woodberry. It's here in Sif also. They're amazing.
No, I'm just interested because I can imagine doing these kind of desserts. You'd want to have the best quality ingredients as
Exactly.
you can get,
Exactly, yeah.
which isn't always easy
True.
to get your hands on.
But for example, like a praline, lots of things I had to make them from scratch.
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Because the praline that they sell over here isn't of good quality. It's just filled with oil.
Okay.
So that's why sometimes you eat something with praline, you feel like, I don't like it, but it's not that you don't like it. You've been eating it like a bad quality of it.
So do you prescribe on the whole debate with MSG as well?
MSG.
Yeah.
Um,
I know it's a little
But-
off from the topic
yeah.
because you've studied food chemistry and you've worked now in a kitchen and stuff like that. There's so many people out there who don't like to put MSG in their food,
yeah.
and because although it's a taste enhancement, it's very common in Japanese cuisine,
True.
less so in Lebanese cuisine. I was just fascinated from a business owner perspective. Is that
I mean, I've heard chefs defend it a lot. They would say like, no, it's really good. There is, I mean, like all those reports were fake or they're not accurate or true. I think that's what Chef Fajar thinks. I'm not really sure. But I don't use MSG in my desserts. I think it's for savory food mostly.
Yeah, no. It is.
Yeah.
It gives it a mosa. It's called mosa flavor or mosi flavor,
Okay.
like the mosa. You know the soup that in Japan that you can get. I forgot what the name it is.
Miso?
Miso. Yeah, it's like a miso flavor.
Okay.
And it just fascinated me, and that's why it just came into my head, and I just wanted to ask. Okay, so how long have you now owned this business for?
It's been since October.
Since October. And what's taking more time for you, the Instagram or the business?
Oh, definitely the business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like anything in life, I try to be more practical and figure out like, you know, shortcuts and ways to get the job done with less time as possible. I mean, I figured this out with my teaching job. Like I do have a routine that I follow, and then I actually opened a translation company, translation and interpretation, like 9 years ago.
Mashallah. Do you not feel like you're busy enough already?
That's the thing with me. Like I always have to have something.
Oh, God.
I can't just sit still.
Oh, and you're experimenting with food and
Yeah.
with desserts,
Yeah.
and you're doing a review critic business on Insta, and now on top of that, you want to do a translation. So how long have you been doing the translation?
It's been 9 years.
My God. Okay.
But you know, like now we have like a small team. So my job is mostly like coordinating with between clients and them. Maybe sometimes I do proofreading if I'm free. But yeah.
I mean, the great thing about it, you can use it as an automatic marketing tool, right? Because when a client comes in, you can give them some desserts. So it's a whole repetitive cycle right there.
Exactly. Just link everything together.
Absolutely. Come for the translation, leave for the desserts.
It's true.
Brilliant. So is there any other projects that you're looking into doing?
Maybe hopefully another branch for Dona's Wonders.
In Bahrain, or would you like to do it somewhere in the Gulf countries?
No one knows.
ما تبغى تقول ها؟
Let's see. Let's see. Exciting news are coming.
Inshallah. Okay. And do you deliver all over Bahrain?
All over Bahrain.
All
Even
over
to Durra.
Wow. Because that's pretty far away from
Yes.
your location. Absolutely. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like the place is fantastic in Mahara. I hope one day you would come and visit.
Definitely.
It's a historical location. The place is called Farij al-Shuyukh.
Okay.
And it's basically where, the old houses of the ruling families were. We have Sheikh Ibrahim Center there. It's gorgeous. They have amazing, like they do these operas, orchestras, amazing shows there every Monday and Wednesday. So people, when you go,
That's quite the sales pitch. I didn't even know that existed. My God.
It's an amazing place. Like there are 22 homes that people can actually visit, look into the old Bahrain. And it's a place where you can feel like the historical part of Bahrain, but it's renovated, it's new and modern. Our only, I would not call it issue, the only setback, I'm trying to figure out another way.
I feel like your PR brain is working right now.
It's actually
The only negative, the only improvable.
accessibility for the place. You know, you gotta put effort into
Getting there.
to reach there.
Well, you know what? If you don't have to put a little effort in, then is it worth going, right?
True. It's worth it though.
See? Which fascinates me, and I think you can probably contest to this, is how weird it is how small Bahrain is, yet how many things we, even living here for more than 20 years, for me it's been more than 20 years, still discover new places. I never knew about that place, and I'm sure there's other things here that I have never heard of, never thought of, never even looked into, which is crazy considering the amount of times I must have driven on the island up and down and left and right.
Yeah, fascinating. So that's why I'm glad to be here today. Now you know.
Fantastic. So why did you choose that location though?
I didn't.
Sorry. Yes. So if you would open a second branch, where would you like to put it then?
I think you just look at, I would look definitely for somewhere that's very accessible.
Highway.
Maybe, yeah. Because our concept, Dona's Wonders, we actually created our identity even when we were back online with Hashim Karachi. He's brilliant, a genius guy. So when we sat together and he's like, oh, you want like a cute, white, nice boutique dessert patisserie? I was like, no. I wanted something that is cross between Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Alice in Wonderland. Because I don't stick to one cuisine. I love food in general, and I just wanted to give people like, I wanted to play with textures, I wanted to play with flavors, and I didn't want like one cuisine to restrict me. So I just wanted to just give whatever I find delicious. So that's why it's called Dona's Wonders. It is most of the things that you will have at Dona's Wonders, it would be like maybe the first time you try such a flavor, or you'd have like such a combination of textures together.
I mean, you sold me already. I mean, I'm heading already down.
Yeah. So I want to choose a new location that would highlight that concept and would be like a perfect place for families, teenagers, young adults to come and enjoy my wonders.
See, now this is really interesting because you're going in a very different path than I thought you'd be heading to in my head. I would think you want to build some sort of larger facility and then maybe export to supermarkets and that kind of stuff. You're going totally the opposite way. That's fascinating. And so would you try to make it more incorporate, like events and stuff like that in the shop space itself?
It could be. It could cater to, business to business. I've been thinking about this.
Do you do any catering to business at the moment?
We do now, like for very few companies. Like we hosted like Elba and some embassies and stuff.
MashaAllah, it.
But yeah, I look forward to more, inshallah.
No, I mean, it all depends on which direction you want to go to, right? B2C and B2B have very different, mental constraints, right? Yeah. If you're doing more B2B, you have to almost make a menu for that event, in a sense, right? True. If you do B2C, then you basically have one menu that's either forever or seasonal.
True.
Yeah. Right? So it's...
Yeah, and the focus would be more on the experience when it's B2C. Like I want to create a place, or the new location would cater and give like a new experience that people haven't.
I'm not going to dig too deep into it. I know you want to keep secret to when it's up and running.
Inshallah.
So I'm excited.
Me too, a lot.
No, I think it's great. Are you gonna? Do you think kids space has any kind of space in your shop?
Of course. I mean, like the kids would be my number one.
Really?
Customers, yeah. I mean, think about it. It's like an imaginary world.
Again, I'm not gonna dig too deep into it.
You can tell that from our logo. Like it's mostly like vintage circus vibes.
Yeah, I saw it.
So yeah. Think of an old European circus.
I kind of got the feel of how you have it in your head. I mean, I think I have something in my head where I can imagine of how it's looking. I'm just surprised that you'd entertain the idea of catering with kids, like especially like wanting to have kids come in just because of how noisy they are.
I love kids.
God.
I'm a teacher.
It's okay, but the other customers are gonna flip.
And kids love me.
That I don't doubt it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
My God. So you told me you were selling oils and coffees, not cooking oil, مش الزيت حق olive oil.
I don't sell olive oil. I said I review olive oil.
Oh, you review olive oil.
Yeah, because like usually olive oil is very tricky. This is for BahrainFoodie now.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember my grandma back at home. She used to have these like tips and tricks how to tell if olive oil is good or bad. Because where I come from, we don't just go to the supermarket and buy stuff. It's like in September, they call it شهر المونة. So in September, they buy the whole supplies for the entire year. And many people would come bring to my grandma like gallons of olive oil. And she had this trick of like, putting it on her skin, rubbing it, smelling it, tasting it, sipping from it. She would do all sorts of things with it until she determines which one
she wants to keep.
Which one she want to buy from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I started doing this with some olive oil here, and the video did very well, the review video.
Oh, fantastic. I'm surprised that you don't want to use that expertise and your website to push other products or potential other products, whether it be olive oil or coffee or anything else like that. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because I could see that working, especially in your shop space.
I mean, like olive oil is very tricky if we're talking about the specific product. You can't really tell like 100% unless it's like there's a certificate from a lab, and you gotta be like incredibly sure of your supplier or whoever is giving you this stuff. I think it's the same with every product out there.
No, I mean, in my head, Donna, I wasn't thinking of you just simply reselling a packaged item.
Yeah.
I in my head, I thought more like you'd do like your grandma, test the olive oils that you might like, and then work out some kind of agreement with that factory to have your name or your brand on it. And that's where you're going to get that trust and reliability from, right? Because you'd be already
Now you gave
using
me a new
expertise.
project to think of.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're already busy. And where do you have a favorite coffee place here in Bahrain?
I do have few. Yeah.
Yeah.
668.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of cortado.
Cortado. Okay.
So 668 sells a good cortado. There's another place where people like get shocked whenever I mention it.
I don't know what Cortado is, by the way.
A cortado is a certain type of coffee that
Mm-hmm.
you know it's a bit strong, but you know like you sip it, you feel like your head wakes up.
For
It's
me,
like magic.
Black Americano.
It's a lot stronger. This one.
That's all I drink. I never tried any of the other
It's
variations.
very strong and creamy.
Okay. So it's made with cream then, I assume.
No, just milk.
Just milk.
Yeah.
Frothed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically 668 and Jasmine's Coffee have great cortado.
Really?
Yeah, this is a cortado.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say Donna has the best coffee.
We actually do.
There we go.
No, but I like to highlight other businesses who deserve it as well.
Good for you.
What I really like about like the certain type of coffee that I like that we sell is the V60. We use Ethiopian beans. And V60, I mean, you're a fan of black coffee, you would really like that because you will enjoy the flavors of coffee and no acidity.
Well, it comes a lot to the roasting as well when it comes
True.
to coffee, right?
True.
And some people just burn it so
Yeah.
black, especially anything by Starbucks is just disaster.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And yeah, that's the V60. We get it from like this roastery called Melissa's Emporium. They're really good.
Fantastic. Oh, you even sell rose milk. I haven't had rose milk in years. And you do private bookings as well.
Yes, so because we close at 7 p.m. After 7, people usually book our restaurant if they have like a date or a family gathering or a small celebration.
Is that working well for you?
Yeah, it's doing great, private bookings.
Really?
Yeah, because especially like with ladies and girls, sometimes they just want to celebrate in somewhere that's nice, where they can take nice pictures. And you know they don't want to be bothered by anyone else, so they can book the entire place, do their thing, and enjoy.
No, I'm just surprised because I thought you would have been better off to do private bookings like maybe once or twice a week, and the rest of the days be open till 10 or 11 or whatever normally restaurants are open till here in Bahrain.
Because that area again, accessibility.
Yeah. Puts you into the strain. Yeah.
After 7 p.m. the center closes.
You sure you didn't study business, by the way? You know your business, like, mashallah alaik. That's really good, by the way.
Thank you.
By the way, I've met a lot of entrepreneurs who sit right there in the seat and don't know anything about their own industry or their business. Where I ask these kind of questions, they're like, oh, I never thought about that. What it basically means they've never put their hand in their business. Mashallah. Very good.
Yeah, I feel you gotta be there. Like I'm there almost all the time. You know, sometimes I don't even go home. Like I end up sleeping there because I'm baking so late. Even like 2 days ago, I had to stay there until like 3 a.m. to finish baking, and I just fell asleep on the sofa. Next day, just went home, changed, and went back to work.
I know that feeling very well.
Yeah.
I know that feeling very well. Sometimes we're here on with a podcast when we're editing, the three of us. We're sometimes here until 2 or 3 a.m. Especially because I try to do about 3 shows a day.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot. 3 shows a day.
yeah, it's all right, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's about 6 hours worth of content.
Wow.
Yeah. Which we then have to edit down and then send to obviously
True.
the guests, get approval, make sure they're all happy with that content, and then we publish. Yeah.
يعطيك العافية.
What about you, Donna? You've came from Lebanon. Have you gone back again? Have you thought about doing some more stuff from Lebanon?
I mean, I travel to visit my family. I used to go there like 3 times a year, but then it's just kind of decreased. I haven't been there for the last 3 years now.
And have they not thought about moving towards here in Bahrain to see you more?
My mom came and visited. She doesn't really like the weather much.
Yeah, I can imagine. Too humid, I
Yeah.
imagine.
But yeah, it's good.
Any brothers, sisters?
We're actually 4 sisters and 1 brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what do the other 4 sisters and brother do? Also all entrepreneurs?
No, I have my brother. He's in banking and finance.
Okay, fantastic.
And I have a sister she works for a Chinese company.
Okay. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't expect that question.
I don't know. I'm just.
I have a sister who's doing PhD in law, and one sister who's a nun.
Oh wow!
I know.
Great. Is she happy?
Yeah.
Wow. Did she just fell into being a nun like you fell into being a teacher?
She did. She did.
So did you get a lot of financial advice then from your brother?
Not much, to be honest. But no,
Why is he not helping his sister?
I think because I don't like to worry my family with my issues. So ever since a young age, I rely on myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And as I grew older, I understand now more that it's important to delegate and to be able to trust people around you, take their opinion. Sometimes that saves you a lot of trouble and heartaches and so on.
Again, you don't know how many business owners come and they talk about how they're a one-man show and they run everything because no one else can handle it. No one else knows how to do things. And I just literally sit here and I just massage my head.
It is very hard to delegate, to be honest. Sometimes I wish I can clone myself, but that's not possible. So being a teacher, I try to teach my team, be patient with them, invest in them, so they can help me the best way possible. And the only way to actually grow is basically to have a strong team with you. No one person can, lift their business on their own.
A company is only as good as its people in it.
Exactly. And that's why you see so many companies that are doing amazing. The owner is clueless, but the employees care, and they work.
No, we can swear. It doesn't matter. But I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And it is a little sad though when the owner doesn't care.
Yeah,
but the staff are really like trying and they're really grinding.
Yeah.
It does make my heart bleed a little bit,
Because I'm an employee, I know how they feel.
Yeah. Well, I know how it is to care, especially with clients and stuff like that, and then them just go backslapping you completely, especially if it's a project what they hired, because as consultancy, what I did before, they would hire you to do like a decision analysis or whatever for a decision base, right? And then you'd present that data and the finding and be like, listen, you should be doing whatever A is, and whatever reason have in their head that B is a better optimum source for them. Sometimes B is more expensive. Sometimes B has some relationships with your supplier relationships or with your customer relationship. So that's why decisions can become more complicated. And it always is heartbreaking when somebody in your heart of heart is doing the wrong decision business wise.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, when that effect comes into play, they call you then back and then saying, hey, you know what? That decision didn't work out for us.
Oh my God.
Can you come back in and help us, whatever is the issue is? And you're then going...
Should have listened to me.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Well, it is what it is.
Exactly.
So, what's the goal with Instagram? 100K followers now?
I don't care about the number of followers, to be honest.
Okay.
I care about the quality.
Okay.
So to me,
see, we're on point. This team.
Yes.
Good guys.
So yeah, I care about the quality of people, and I could actually see that when I opened my restaurant, the quality of people who visit us, the type of people who come there. I do want the connoisseurs to follow me. I do want people who know what they, people who are into the good quality of food to follow me. I don't care about the number, to be honest.
Okay. I would just imagine that the larger your number base is, the more opportunities you have in various enterprises and businesses. And
sometimes the wrong crowd can drag you down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I shouldn't be so surprised. Well, that's fantastic. And only 829 posts as well.
Yeah. Is that I don't know.
That's good. That's really, really good. That's really, 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 really good. That's really good.
So I try to cover like a range of places. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just always like, 5-star restaurants and hotels. I do cafeterias.
I mean, you run out very quickly at that
Yeah.
point, right?
And Bahrain is small, so I try to do everything, like all sorts of cuisines. Today we have an awesome review dropping about a Korean place.
Perfect, because this episode is going to be live in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'll attach in the link that episode that you're dropping. So it's a Korean place you were
Korean
mentioning.
place where they have private rooms for karaoke.
Ooh.
It's so much fun.
Okay. And are they serving Korean food as well, or is it?
Yeah, amazing quality, mashallah.
So you as I don't want to say chef, but let's say chef.
Food critic.
Food critic. Does it annoy you when you see a restaurant that says they're Japanese but then serve like all kinds of Thai dishes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is a bummer. Like, either just don't stick to that label if you want to like play with other flavors, which is fine. But it's like, it's annoying.
I just it puts the question the quality, right?
Yeah.
When you go to like a Japanese place, then you see like chicken chow mein or something like that.
I remember I went to a place and they just serve they serve stuff from noodles to like tabbouleh and grills, and then biryani mashbouz, and then burgers, and then steak entrecôte, and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, you're a very talented chef.
It was so bad. It was so shitty.
They definitely used MSG in that, 100%.
Nothing can help them.
My dad and a friend went somewhere in Adliya, and they went to you remember, I don't know how many years you've been here.
10.
10? So maybe this is before your time, I imagine. There used to be a restaurant in Adliya that was like a tomato.
Oh,
Like from outside, it was like a green tomato.
wow.
And it was a Chinese restaurant, but like you described that other place, it served everything under the earth. And I think my dad was really brave that day, and he ordered a pizza. He said it was the worst pizza he's ever had in his life. He was at that point over, I think, 45 years old or something like that. So it is 45 years of experience.
That's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there any plans for Donna starting to serve international cuisines as well?
No.
Going from pizza to
But
Chinese?
We do a lot of fusions though.
Yeah?
Yeah, like for example, Chef Hajar did this, what is it? Paris meets Manama.
Okay.
So, Mahyawa, right?
No, but I'll pretend like I do.
Oh my, where are you from, by the way?
I'm half Saudi and half German.
Okay, so basically...
Not the answer you're expecting, were you?
No, not at all. So basically, Mahyawa is like, it's a fish sauce that's very popular here and came from Iran. It tastes a lot like za'atar.
Okay.
So basically, it's just like bread. She spreads it with mahyawa. She puts tomato concassé,
Okay.
jarjir,
Okay.
cheese, and it's so good. And pomegranate molasses.
It sounds delicious. So is it then like a pie?
It's like on a flat bread.
Okay, but so it's not very thick then?
No, very thin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on how much cheese you put on, right? And
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Usually, like here in mahyawa, they just have it with eggs and cheese. That's the traditional way of having mahyawa in Bahrain.
Wait. There's an Eastern European dish that sounds similar to that, where it's like a bread but shaped almost like a boat, and it's cheese, and they have an egg on the top.
I know which one you mean. هديك مثل like a فطيرة.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, it's like on an Iranian flatbread.
Okay.
خبز خباز.
Khubz khabbaz. Fantastic. I'll definitely try it.
Yeah.
So is that your favorite dish then?
I like it a lot. A lot, yeah.
Do you have a
'Cause
favorite
like,
dish, by the way?
I like everything, to be honest. I don't have, but every now and then I find myself ordering one specific item from our menu, and just like I keep eating that for like a week. Or
Honestly, unbelievable good branding skills. MashaAllah alayk.
لا, for real. And if it's not something that would really impress me, I would never serve it to people.
Okay, look at
Especially
that.
being a food critic, they put me on a...
Pedestal.
Exactly. And they'd be like, I can't do average. It's either I will change your life with this dish, or they will be like, because I have a word I always say, like عادة. It means like it's average.
Yeah, I know, عادي.
So they would come to me and be like, عادة. If I serve something, that's just average. I can't do that.
And then you tell them to get out.
No. No, I especially when it's like an objective review or like something constructive, I always take their points in concern. Because after all, I am there to cook for them. Whatever they like or the majority likes, if it makes sense in my head, I'm going to do it.
Do you think there's a market here in Bahrain for ridiculous brandy bougie food? Like I'm talking about, like in New York, there's a pizza that's for $1,000, which is like 400 BD.
I did see like they're serving a grill splatter for 104 BD.
Wow, successful?
Apparently so. People are buying it.
Fantastic. So there is a market for it then.
Yeah, very scarce though.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. Did you find it? The $1,000 pizza? At Nino's. I read it as Nando's for a second. Features caviar and lobster. What's your opinion on lobster?
I love lobster.
You love it?
But you gotta know how to cook it.
Okay.
Some people here like.
Can you find a picture of it? Sorry, Dan. Go on.
Okay.
Go on, Dan.
We actually did a live video on lobster with the Al Palace and Resort, and we showed people how to. It's incredibly easy, but don't boil it. Steam it.
Okay, so you're not on the grill side. You're on the steam side.
Yeah. Because once you steam it, all the flavors stay in there, and it's still juicy and amazing.
I'm conflicted with that.
Lobster or caviar?
No, I mean if somebody would serve you that on a table and be, oh, that's 400 BD,
No.
you'd be like, If there's no gold involved, I don't want to look at it.
Even with gold, it's just absurd.
For bourgeois, for that kind of a pizza, right? I mean, you've got some caviar. You've got caviar dumped everywhere. That guy's face is concerning, by the way. Can you click on that? Do you see that, Donna? Look at that face.
It's like a cream.
He knows what he's doing. He's like, I'll just put whatever trash together. People will pay for it. $1,000 pizza. You got it.
My God, I think some people might do it for the gram, but it's not something sustainable.
Yeah. Or to be like a James Bond villain.
How about, you went to this $1,000 pizza. Why not that ice cream that they were selling in Dubai for like $1,000?
Okay, look that up. $1,000 ice cream, isn't it? But at least it's gold. Anything that has to be $1,000 in my head has to have gold on it.
Okay, I'll tell you something.
Go ahead.
The gold leaves, you can buy them from any suppliers, and they're like few BDs. They're not that expensive.
I totally agree with you. No, can you go on Google Images? Dan, we don't need hardcore information. We're a podcast. What do we know?
What they're doing here is
that's the one.
Yeah, they sell you the Versace cup that comes with it.
Oh, so you take the Versace cup?
Yeah. And you get me like, I bought this.
But only one. So when you're having guests over, you can take your Versace cup, and everyone else can have. That's amazing. That's so amazing. But I agree with you. You can buy those like gold leaf emblems.
First,
they don't taste of anything other than a little metallic, and second, they're cheap as nothing,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
But
just for the hype.
They're for the hype, and if you're going to charge $1,000 on something, you need to have at least one of those 1BD sheets on it. Otherwise, what are you doing? If it doesn't sparkle your food, then you'd be like, what's going on? By the way, we just brought up lobster. And somebody told me something, I'm not sure if I should say it, that turned me off from lobster for a very long time.
What?
He said to me, Hamad, lobsters are the cockroaches of the sea. And he told me that.
They say that about crayfish.
As well, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I love them though, I don't care.
Oh, I have to close my eyes now when I look at lobsters.
So good. Well, you remember like in COVID when they did the whole seafood bucket craze here in Bahrain?
Yeah.
Oh my, like everyone started doing the seafood boil.
I remember. What are you looking up? Gold lobster or something?
Seafood boil.
Have you tried a blue lobster, by the way?
Have I tried a lobster?
A blue lobster.
No.
Never?
No.
They're very sweet. They're very different than the red ones.
Nice. No, I haven't. Have you?
No. I have a friend of mine who tried it, and he was like so gun-ho.
Yeah, but like in Bahrain, they bring them in a bucket, and each restaurant would have their own sauce or whatever.
They do this. They do this
everywhere.
in America a lot, right?
Yeah.
One of the Florida and one of those states. Yeah.
And they do have these amazing Alaskan crabs over there.
Mm-hmm.
But here, our crabs are so small and tiny. You just no meat whatsoever.
Be honest with me, though, as a food critic, when you're going to these fish places, do you check if they remove the stomach?
I check. I mean, mostly like if I'm eating shrimps, that's what I usually eat a lot. I do check if they remove like the spine.
I think it's a stomach lining or it's a spine or whatever.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah.
But it's a black line basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not everyone does it, and when I that's the first thing I normally do when I order it and I see it in a restaurant and I pick a few, and if it still has the lining on it, I immediately go no.
Here's a tip for your follower. There's an awesome seafood place in Jafar Square called Fishin'.
Okay.
Excellent quality.
Okay, I love how we went from the cockroaches of the sea, my favorite food, and by the way...
No, really, excellent quality and great seafood. Fishin'. When I first went to the place, I thought it was called Fishion. And I was like, hello, معكم BahrainFoodie. نحن اليوم بفيشيون. And they were like, no.
Was the food at least good?
So good.
Really?
Yeah, so good.
So what is your favorite restaurant at the moment that isn't yours? To be precise.
I like so many places. Well, I like dishes. I don't like restaurants. Same with music. I like songs, but I don't like artists.
Okay.
Because I do feel like there's no, like a place that has everything incredible.
I mean, that goes without saying, yeah.
But I do like the experience that I have in some places. Like, for example, Mahonia offers a great experience. There's only 7 tables, very exclusive. Chefs are very creative, especially like if you choose their set menu, you don't know what to expect.
Again, you're telling me all these places that I've never been to, and I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Have you eaten by Baba Bahrain?
Bab al-Bahrain?
Yeah, and those like small like corner shops.
Yeah.
They're some of the most weirdest yet also very nice food. Some, but a lot of it is very weird.
Yeah.
There's a place called Mount Everest, I think.
What? What do they sell?
They sell like some Indian cuisine, you know, the ones where they put the soup in the pani puri, whatever it's called. Yeah, they sell some of that kind of stuff, and it just has a huge picture of Mount Everest.
That's so strange.
Yeah, but it attracts your eyeball. I mean, I remember like going like, oh right, I'll try this.
Okay.
Especially since Mount Everest is in Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken, or Himalaya. Both our geography skills are not that level.
Gonna Google it.
Have you tried? What's your opinion right now with the new chef at Ritz-Carlton, that Italian restaurant?
Riviera.
Yeah.
Pop-up. I didn't try it yet.
Not the pop-up. Sorry, they have that. You know where the cigar lounge is?
Is it? No, that one. I don't know it.
I forgot the name. Can you look up Dan, the Italian restaurant? They have a new chef from Rome. And so they're changing the menu seasonally now.
Okay.
Last season, the menu was really, really nice. This season, sadly, other than steak, there's nothing on like there that really attracts to me, because they have a lot of fry food at the moment. Oh. Yeah, it's. Well, if you have a chance, you should try it. Do you remember Chico when they had that new chef?
Yeah.
Sadly, he's gone again.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
He looked like that guy in Ratatouille.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
So far for Italian, I do feel like Masso are doing well.
Masso is always doing well. That's near Adlia, isn't it?
Yeah. In the Palace Hotel.
Yeah.
And Roma is a classic.
Roma. Isn't Roma dead?
No.
Every time I go in there, it's almost like empty.
I know, but the food is still good.
Okay.
Like the food, it's just if you want to enjoy like a classic ravioli or tiramisu.
Okay.
Even their seafood is always fresh.
I mean, I've been to Rome a few times. It's near the police station, which I always love because, you know, you can sit there and having dinner and watch people going to jail. But, yeah, this is the place. Primavera.
Primavera, no, I haven't been.
You haven't been yet?
I went to the one in the Gulf, La Pergola.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that good.
These are, like, some of these images these are not the images. These are, well, no, this is actually the image. Yeah, this is actually the image. My mistake.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've been to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love your opinion as a food critic.
Sure.
To just to see what is a tiramisu meant to be runny and hot?
What? No.
Okay. Then thank you. That's all that needs to be said then. Because I ordered one, it was like disintegrated, and they make a whole point that they make it in front of you, in front of the table, the tiramisu. So if you order it, they have like a cart and a guy comes and he makes it.
This is the thing with tiramisu. The longer it stays, the better it tastes. So if you just like make it on the spot, keep it a little bit in the fridge, the next day it tastes even more than the same day.
They don't even forget putting it in the fridge. They have it like warm and they serve it to you on the plate.
Wow.
It's the only time I've ever.
Why is it warm though? Like I don't get it. Like because the original recipe there is no heating in tiramisu whatsoever.
I don't know either. I've never eaten like hot tiramisu. It was bizarre.
That's so weird.
It was really bizarre.
Even they tell you like when you're dipping the biscuits or the ladyfinger in coffee, the coffee should be chilled.
Oh, you didn't get any biscuits either.
What?
Yeah, it was just you just get a spoon and the tiramisu, and when you put it in, it just drips. It was bizarre.
That's strange.
Yeah. So when you have the opportunity to go, and you can tell me about it.
And waste my money.
Well, hey, you're doing it for the grams. You're doing it for the grams.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. That's an investment worthwhile,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can point out and be like, "This is Dona's tiramisu."
No. Conflict of interest.
You could just put it next to
I'd
it.
be like Hamad, the Saudi German guy from the podcast. Specifically told me to come to you and
I don't mind.
check you
Bring
out.
it up.
Done.
I know the chef. I don't know his name anymore, but I greet him every time. So whatever that means.
Okay. Done.
Let me think. There's so.
I do love Cantina Calo at the Ritz. Check it out. They have amazing nachos, great food.
Which one is that?
Ceviche, the Mexican one, next to Trader Vic's.
Ah, that's why. Okay. It always looks busy, so it must be good, I guess.
Really good.
Because every time I go around that area, it's always packed.
Yeah.
They also have an Indian restaurant at that hotel.
I'm not sure. I haven't been to it.
And they have like I don't know what the right word is. They have like a steakhouse? Maybe? No?
I don't know. I haven't been to it.
Okay, so they have those two. So if you're looking for content, there you go. And at the very far in the back where the cigar lounge is, they serve their Ritz burger only on that menu. And it's quite expensive. I think it was like 20 BD or 15 BD.
Wow.
Just for a burger. And I think they give you an egg.
Egg?
Yeah, so it's like a burger, tomato, egg. And here you go. That's it.
You know, I know a hotel that sells their burger for like 10 BD if you're sitting there.
Okay.
But the same burger, if you're sitting on their beach, you can order it for 5 BD.
Is that the hotel next to the Ritz? Because they have a burger place in there, whatever that hotel is called.
It's the one, Vida.
Vida.
Yeah.
Oh.
You sit there, you pay 10 BD, go to the beach, you get it for 5.
Go on Google Maps and show me what the hotel is called right next to the Ritz, if you don't mind, Dan.
Jumeirah, you mean?
I think it might be Jumeirah.
I think now they changed the name to...
Because they definitely have a burger place in there. Like it's a whole burger restaurant that they only serve burgers. It's very strange.
I think I know which one you mean. Now they opened there a French place called Bagatelle.
Okay.
They do have some interesting options in there.
And what about the Four Seasons? Is there anything worthwhile eating in there? I've had the breakfast once. That was weird.
Okay. I Re-Asian is like used to be one of my favorite restaurants.
Okay.
I went recently and I kind of find out like they added so many Japanese options now, but I do feel like their main courses are exquisite, but just don't do the Japanese part.
Okay.
Yeah, like for example, they serve otoro,
Okay.
which is like the inner belly fat of the tuna that's supposed to be highly marbled, melt in your mouth, very buttery. I didn't like the quality much. It wasn't that amazing as it should be.
I mean, the place I went to, I don't even remember what the name is, but if you remember the lounge, the hotel entry, I remember it was a weekend, so I just wanted to have like a nice breakfast. So I went there, and then they have like a library section, like in the far back. Normally you have to, I think, book ahead to get that place, but for whatever reason it was empty that day. And so I sat there and I ordered some eggs and I ordered some pancakes, and I remember thinking to myself, I could make this,
Yeah.
Yeah. But the view was nice.
Yeah.
And the
You should
ambiance.
Try Re-Asian. It's like on the 51st floor. Gorgeous view from up there.
This is the Four Seasons still, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they have a bar, or is that it?
Next to it, there's the Blue Moon Lounge.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I remember they used to have a steakhouse as well, right?
It's still there. The Cut.
The Cut. It's downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan of the Cut?
Some of their aged steaks I really like.
Okay.
And their Philly cheesesteak is very, very
So far,
famous.
you haven't mentioned anything you didn't like, by the way.
Very famous. With the Cut, no, I never had a bad experience, to be honest.
I think I was a moron and I took fish once at the Cut, and that wasn't. I just had too much red meat. No, it was chicken. It was definitely chicken.
You went to a steakhouse and ordered chicken.
I just had too much red meat. There was just too much red meat. And I said to myself, you know what?
Go to Nando's next time.
Whoa. Shots fired. No, I mean, I don't. There's only one Nando's place. No, two Nando's places here in Bahrain, right?
I think so.
Yeah. You're a big fan of Nando's?
I do like Nando's.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Peri peri. Why not? I love flavors. You don't like Nando's?
No.
Why not?
I never. The chicken is like rubber.
Maybe you had like
A bad experience? Yeah. So that's your favorite chicken place is Nando's?
Not my favorite chicken place. No, there are so many other chicken. Like we have a Bahraini brand called Soul.
So why didn't you bring up your favorite chicken place? Why didn't you throw Nando's at me then?
Soul. But you would know Nando's, la?
Yeah, I get that, but at least introduce me to something good.
Okay, خلاص, يلا, Soul.
حرام عليك والله.
Soul in Zayed Town. They're amazing, mashallah. They started as a home business.
Okay.
And they used to announce certain days.
Okay.
Certain timings. You would have to book 1 week before.
Mashallah.
Drive all the way to Sanad.
Okay.
Park in front of their home and just wait for your turn.
Oh, wow.
But you eat insane food. Like, I remember my mom was visiting, so we'd just sit in the car, our faces stuffed with chicken. It's amazing flavors, and I was so happy when they opened the restaurant.
Is it like fried chicken?
Fried chicken sandwiches.
Sandwiches, no less. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And do you do any fried chicken? No, not yet, right?
No.
Never?
No.
Maybe one day?
No.
Never.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I always find the oil choice complicated, because vegetable oil isn't.
No, it's definitely a no.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's how old McDonald's fries used to be. Old McDonald's fries was with beef fat.
Interesting.
Back in the 80s and early 90s, and then I switched up.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
Jasmine's fries or McDonald's fries?
I don't eat fast food, so whichever one you like more.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. This is always a debate, Jasmine's for sure.
For Just Mints for you?
Yeah.
I'll try it then. I've never tried Just Mints, but I'll try it.
I usually don't eat fries because I feel like it's such a waste of space in my stomach and calories on fries. But I do love their fries, especially when they're
then
hot.
it's not a waste then, is it? If you're enjoying it.
But not everyone does fries well.
That's fair. So what is for you perfect fries? Is it thick or is it thin?
I like the when it's like crisp from outside and inside like it's pillowy. And when they're like, you know, the right amount of salt, right amount of spices on it. No one likes a soggy fry.
Okay. So do you like double fried chips or not such a big fan of double fried?
I heard like the Belgian ones are supposed to be double fried.
Sometimes even triple fried. They're really they crick.
Yes. There's actually also a nice Belgian fries place in District 1 called the Belgian Crunch.
You know what you need to do? You need to do a website for your food critique that has like a monthly like these are the places to try this month, or maybe just make it like in a story.
Yeah.
Because you have so much good advice when it comes to good restaurants to check out, and I will have to listen back to this podcast to look at the names of those places. So if you have the opportunity, make a story and just being like, this, I don't know, June, these are the places.
Or instead, you can just go to my Instagram, BahrainFoodie, and check the posts.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work though. You want to be convenient for your viewer. You want to be convenient for your follower. No?
Inshallah.
Think about it. Think about it. You can have right there next to El Bahra, you can have like this month's recommendation. It'll be like chai, and be like, yeah, thanks.
Cool. Done.
Do you have a marketing team, by the way, who manages? You do it all by yourself?
Yeah.
So who does the recordings then?
I do.
So do you have like a tripod or something that you take with your camera?
Yeah. Or sometimes I just put my phone and hang it somewhere. And
how are you not? It's amazing.
You know, I had a company that approached me. They said, listen, we will do a rebrand for you. We will make it professional. I like the idea. You know, someone who comes and do all the hard work for me. They were like, you will have like certain outfits. They will have your logo, and we're gonna promote you everywhere, and professional videos. That we will have a team who will come and take, you know, nice shots and of the place.
Let me run away.
So I was actually excited, but then the restrictions that they wanted to put on me were a lot. Like, for example, you can't do negative reviews. I'm like, what if the place is not good? I don't want to change from being a critic into a promoter. There are so many promoters on the island, and they are so much better than me.
At promoting, you mean?
At promoting.
Yeah, not as a food critic, because you have to say something negative as a food critic, or something to improve upon.
And they were like, but why would the restaurant like pay X amount for like this whole team and the production and all of this for you to end up saying something bad about them?
Oh, so in their head, they want the restaurant to pay you to do the promotional work.
Yeah.
Instead of finding outside companies who are willing to promote your work, like olive oil companies, coffee companies. That's how my head would work, right?
Exactly.
You'd get like a support from some coffee place, like
I get you.
Beans, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and review the food place, and then you can drink like that coffee from.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
True. But that's what they had in mind. So
Alhamdulillah, you got out of it. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. God. Sometimes these things like really, really scare me. Because they swindle people into these kind of things.
Yeah. True.
And then when you read the contract, you're giving up like all your creativity, all the ownership of the Instagram account, all that nonsense.
If it wasn't worth it, I was like, it's fine, just stay with me and my phone and we will take it from there. At least it looks more organic, you know? It's not like
candid.
staged.
Candid is the word you're looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
Candid meaning like it looks like real life.
Yep.
I mean, I saw some of your posts. I'm amazed because I wouldn't have that kind of bravery.
I wasn't that brave, to be honest.
That is very brave. That is very, very brave. You can put it away. You can go like, no, but it is. Because the social like anxiety I would have to sit there with my phone and talk into it while there's other people in the room. I couldn't do it.
I used to be terrified, you know, like thinking, what would people say? What if they write something bad or negative? This is when I first started. And I remember like my friends were like, they gave me huge support. They were like, who cares? Just raise your voice and say it out loud. And sometimes I just think of people as my students.
Okay.
So my anxiety would stop and I just act natural.
So like you're speaking to a classroom.
Yep.
Perfect. And you never felt like shy or anything because other people in the restaurant is like, look here, you're going like.
No, like if they look at me and be like.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're really owning it. Congratulations. Yes. That's amazing. And did you ever have the staff then come up to you and be like, sorry, dear, what are you doing?
Because, most of the stuff that I do is like voiceover.
Smart. That is so smart. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't just sit there and like, yeah, maybe only the hello, I might annoy them, but that's it.
Okay. That's so smart because in my head, I was thinking that you're like sitting there and then be like, oh, you really like this. And this could be better.
Yeah, man, they would kick me out.
And the whole staff just like.
They'd be like, are you ready for your dessert? Here you go.
Oh, unbelievable.
No, but I did do a few reviews where the owner would come and sit in front of me and he's just staring at me, shooting and eating. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
That's so weird.
It is weird, especially like he's waiting for me. Like I'm still chewing and he's like, how is it? It's good, la? It's good? And I'm like, I need to just to be alone. And when I finish, I will call you. And he got pissed and he's like, but you have so many followers that you eat in front of them. I'm like one person. So what if I sit here
بس
and
المختلف
watch you
انت
eat?
هذا جوال وانت قدام وجهي يعني عيب وش قاعد تسوي اعطيني يعني شويه هواء يعني what is this
طلعت اللهجة.
هي على طول زعلني رجال.
That's what I said in a nice way.
Yeah. You told مشي مع الله. Let me sit in a corner and just, concentrate.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So if I was a restaurant, right, and I saw your amazing credentials and I saw your amazing posts and I was like, okay, this girl clearly knows food. That would be my first thought. My thought wouldn't be, oh, I'm going to ask her to come review my food. My thought would be, hey, Donna, can you come over and tell me what I could do better with the cuisine? Right? That would be...
I actually get like two types.
Really?
For example, some people would ask for a private review. They would be like, we want you to come, just tell us what's wrong with the food so we can fix it. Don't post anything. And I'm like, okay. I just go do my thing. Some people, they want me to post. They're confident about what they're serving. They sign the waiver and everything. I go do my thing and we post it.
And do they hire you back or?
Yeah, I did have so many returning clients. And like, for example, there's a place called Emerjan Soutish. It's in the Avenues. I first went there for their breakfast and the response was amazing. Although I did critique some of their items, I came back for lunch. Then they asked me back for dinner. Then they asked me back for their Ramadan set menu.
Oh, mashallah.
So, however, like most of the people, I would say maybe 70% of them, they would call me back whenever they have new dishes. Because it's very easy to work with me. I am very fair. They can feel that. And I would never go and say like, oh, I didn't like something. I always give reasons. And sometimes I even go to the extent to help them how to fix it.
Can I look at your recipe? Let me talk to your chef.
Yeah, I actually do that. I go to the extent of like, for example, one restaurant was selling a drink that tastes like eggs.
Okay. And he called it egg drink, I hope.
And it was actually because of sulfur. So they were mixing ملح الحامض.
Okay.
So with like, they weren't using fresh lime.
Okay.
They were using like salt lime.
Okay.
And they were like mixing it with the soda. It used to create sulfur.
Yeah.
And you taste it, you feel like eggs, boiled eggs.
Okay.
They figured this out because of my review.
Did they make it into a bath so people can have a sulfur bath? That's.
But they fixed it.
Okay, wow, mashallah alayt. If you didn't say anything, that would still be on the menu. You could come try the egg drink. Amazing. So what's the future like with your food critic? Are you gonna own a website where you're gonna do like more blogs and traditional stuff?
This could be something I can do, just like turn the content there where it's easier to find everything.
I mean,
But
it'd be more writing, right?
yeah, I did notice like people here, they don't like to read a
Drain,
lot.
yeah, I know.
That's why I do videos, not pictures, and that's why I speak in Arabic. And I also put subtitles there for expats. So I'm trying to, make everyone happy and make just life easier for everyone. And now with TikToks, did you see like the videos? They're like 10, 15 seconds only.
Yeah.
So the shorter they are, the more popular they get.
It's because the algorithm, it goes by watch time, right?
Yeah.
And because if some clip is like 5 seconds long,
Yeah.
then somebody's more likely to finish the 5 seconds than it is 12 seconds long, right? And so right now the algorithm is still a little broken, because somebody watching, let's say 3 seconds or 5 seconds from a 12-second clip should be more valuable than something that's 5 seconds, right? Because the 5-second one is just like...
But when it comes to food critic, I can't thoroughly explain the flavors in like 10, 15 seconds.
Well, you only need 3 seconds. Good. And
No.
then you don't even say, you just shake your other head to me.
I'd be like, that's why I tell you, it's the quality of people who follow you. Like the people who follow me, they care about quality. They want to know what they're getting into before going and buying. I'm sorry, but like my followers are not like dumb or silly, and I can like underestimate their, them and be like good, bad,
On TikTok, it will definitely work.
Maybe for kids.
I think you're getting a lot of credences to these people. I think a lot of them, are living mole rats. I've never been a fan of fans. Have you ever been stopped on the street yet?
Yeah. Mostly they'd be like, hello, BahrainFoodie, انت BahrainFoodie.
Okay, but nothing creepy yet.
No, we do get creepy at the restaurant though.
Really?
Yeah, like, okay, once.
Go on.
This is a crazy one.
Tell stories. Let's hear it, girl.
Yeah. And this one, يبيلها قعدة. So basically we had like this guy who just, bless his heart, he's trying to do well. So he literally scouted Bahrain for and bought so many products for us and just brought them to the restaurant for me to check them and see which one is better so I can use it. And that wasn't just like a one-time thing, it was like an everyday thing.
Whoa.
For like a whole month.
Whoa.
So like one day he would go to every bakery in Bahrain and just buys us. We never paid him anything. He just does it on his own. He buys every type of bread available in every bakery, and I would come to the restaurant and there is bread everywhere.
Whoa.
The next day would be like Lebanon, next day hummus, next day olive oil. And I was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And he's like, I want this place to be the best place in Bahrain.
Okay.
And I will help you do that.
Okay.
And I'm like, but we're not going to pay you for this. Like, I know, but I like this place.
Okay. That's creepy.
I know. Full month.
That's very creepy. And then after a month, they just disappeared.
No, he actually...
He said, can I get money for all that stuff I done?
He actually came and he was like, I'm actually on leave for like 2 months and I have to travel. I don't want to, but I have to. He came and showed me his leave. And he's like, do you want anything before I leave? And I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
And then he's like, you don't want bread? I was like, I don't want bread.
Please leave me alone.
He was like, Tabina flus, you want money? I was like, no, we don't need money, we're good. And he's like, okay, I'll see you after 2 months.
Oh, God. So, and that was the time when you're looking at flight tickets to go to Lebanon.
No, the 2 months might finish it anytime soon.
That's creepy. I had somebody show up at my office once and ask for a picture.
Shot?
Girl. No, picture.
Oh, okay.
That to me was it's not as extreme as you for an entire month. For me, that was the because I don't put my address anywhere.
Okay. Oh, that's creepy.
And yeah, she was waiting outside. I used to rent a space in Diwan,
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped coming to see.
Shit.
I don't know. I must have done something on Instagram. I must have posted something about it. That's the only way I can think about how that could have happened. Or maybe
Yeah.
we did a show or a podcast or whatever. Yeah, I just remember it was a late evening and it was like 8 or something. And there was this girl, she was just sitting on the inside on the bench. And I was walking past and he goes, Hamid al-Marashid? And I turned and I looked and I go, yeah. And she said, oh, you know, can I have a picture with you?
But that's weird.
I was creeped out as hell. I was like, sure. I literally had my hand hovering on her shoulder.
Aw. But that's sweet. It's nice to be recognized.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Then don't put your face on Instagram. You're lucky you're in Bahrain. You know, in Bahrain they don't. In Bahrain they don't care much about famous people. Like in Saudi, you guys go crazy there.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's also because Saudi just like went through a whole process in the last like 5 years. The whole cinemas and concerts and,
Yeah.
and Formula One now. Like this is a whole different thing than what Saudi was 10 years ago, you know?
Like, you know, we had Michael Jackson living here.
Yeah, I met him.
And no one just...
Well, I met him.
Nice.
Not on purpose. Do you know British Club?
Yeah.
I was in the British Club.
And he was there.
And I swear to God, he was there. He looked so out of place. And it wasn't him that really attracted my eye. He was sitting with like a bunch of Filipino guys.
Oh.
And I shit you not, I swear to God, one of the Filipino guys, or multiple one of them, I must have been like 15 or 16 or something like that. And I walked past, and the Filipino guy had clown makeup on. It was so bizarre. It was so weird.
Oh my God.
I remember staring. I remember walking past by the pool bar, and I remember just staring, going, "What is that Filipino guy?"
That's so weird.
Makeup on? Because he was white. You know the wife beater top?
Yeah.
You know that white shirt that just goes like that? So it was like there was that Filipino guy, and there was Michael Jackson next to him with those sunglasses and that hair. And I just remember Michael Jackson doing this while staring at like kids and people in that pool area. Yeah. And I remember the Filipino guy just giving me like dirty eyes.
Shit. You're staring. Stop staring at me. Although I'm a clown.
It was so bizarre because his skin color was a little yellowish, but his face was just so white.
Oh my God.
It literally looked like he just took like white paint and put it all over his face.
Now that's creepy.
I think he just didn't want to like Michael Jackson to feel weird, because Michael Jackson was pretty white. So I think the Filipino guys, like the 2 or 3 of them, they just they wanted to show solidarity.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Amazing childhood, I see.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, absolutely. I was never invited into his bedroom, if that's what you're asking.
Oh my gosh. That's bad.
Do you think that whole story about him is real? Or
I don't know.
would you let your kid stay at his house?
Of course not. I wouldn't let my kids stay in anyone's home.
Well, that's not fair.
No, that's the reality. Just
No.
better be safe than sorry.
Why? You can't do that. Kids need to like spend time with their friends, or not?
Not in this part.
Really?
I don't know. Like when I grew up, my parents wouldn't let me stay at anyone's home.
Well, I mean, it's a little different when you're a girl, I think. No?
I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable.
Because when I was a kid, you had to my dad or mom would send me to my cousins. Ammi or Jalis Bilanets or whatever. No? Yeah, maybe?
No.
No? They don't do that in Lebanon? I'm sure they must do that in
Some
Lebanon.
families do, but my family didn't.
Okay. Not even with your
If
brother?
you think about it, like most cases of kids abuse are coming from family members.
Yeah. So maybe don't send it to your cousin or uncle.
Yeah.
Maybe let them go to their friend's house. No. What do you have any students that you still think about today?
Oh yeah, so many. So
Sorry,
many,
that's a
like,
quite shock
yeah.
of change of conversation. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, my students are my number one supporters.
That's sweet.
Yeah, like when I started BahrainFoodie, they always like comment, share my content. When I opened the restaurant, they were like my first clients. Like in the opening, I would see them standing there with their parents.
Yeah.
It was so cute. And I have a
And their
few-
parents would be wondering, why is their teacher in this place and saying hello, hello?
And actually, I have a student. His name is Sulaiman. If you're seeing this, hey Sulaiman, how are you?
That's
So
sweet.
Sulaiman forces his mom to order from me, like when it's Eid or celebration or whatever.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So do you use your active students in order to farm your followerships and be like, hey, you know what? Those who are following get a better grade. No?
No. But I do feel like some of my students, they get overprotective sometimes.
Oh, that's sweet though.
But it can backfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I don't think you need at this point any protection. You've already had 3 lawsuits and death threats and all that nonsense.
I'm glad this is in the past now.
Is there any food you wouldn't eat?
Yeah, like hold on, I forgot the name, but it's basically the egg fetus Filipino thing.
Yeah. No
No.
way. What about dragon meat?
What?
Dragon meat.
Are there dragons?
Dragon meat is what the Chinese call donkey. They eat donkey meat. Yeah. Well, I mean, what don't they eat as well?
No, now I feel like that's where Shrek came from. You know, like Shrek fell in love with that big dragon. Mhm.
Good reference, right? But yeah,
Interesting.
they call donkey meat dragon meat. I don't know why, but they do.
Maybe if it's like, I don't know, maybe I would try it. I'm adventurous when it comes to food.
What about horse as well? Horse?
I will feel bad, but if it's already dead, I will try.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't like food usually that's very gamey.
Yeah, no one likes that. But how would you know that it's gamey?
I mean, I went to South Africa and
Yeah.
we had like antelope and all these like natural animals that they actually go and catch and shoot and you eat like
Yeah.
the kills in that day and you eat that day, and the meat is incredibly gamey because it's out there surviving, right? It's not like a cow, a baka, or whatever, and they're just
Yeah.
chilling in a field or sheep. You know, they're just grazing.
Grazing, yeah.
They're like out there surviving, and so the meat is totally different.
I've had camel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was good.
Camel milk, big fan or not such a big fan?
Camel ice cream, camel milk ice cream. I didn't have it in a milk yet.
There's a place, I think.
I know, yeah, but I'm scared.
Why?
Because like they say it makes stuff to your stomach and you gotta run to the bathroom.
But you're already eating the ice cream part, aren't
The
you?
ice cream is fine for me. So yeah, I might try the milk soon.
What about goat milk? Big fan or not so much?
Oh, I love goat milk. Yeah, I grew up drinking goat milk, goat cheese. We actually make like our Lebne cheese back at home.
Ah, no plans of doing it yet here.
I do actually. For
Oh.
my restaurant, I make the Lebne.
Is there any dish that you think about now with your restaurant that you own that you'd be like, you know what, that's too much work to do? Something you would
Too
only do
much?
like for like maybe Ramadan or just seasonally, just because of the amount of effort that is required to do it.
I mean, like in Ramadan, we did do some traditional stuff. But we do have like specialty things for Eid, like al-ghuzi.
Mm.
So yeah, ghuzi is like for special occasions. But you know, the thing is with the يعني savory food is like more the chef Fajr stuff. So I'm not really involved in that. I'm more into desserts.
Yeah, but is there really no dessert that is like really headache requiring? I'm sure there must be some.
There are, but yeah, مثلا duros. Duros take a lot of time for preparation. But the thing is with me, I like to see people's joy when they have them because they're so good. But I don't mind putting the effort.
Really? Okay. Is there any dessert you hate?
I hate stuff with low quality of chocolate.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with like dessert that you make at home that
No,
you'd be
no,
like, you
not
know
at
what?
all. No. I told you if I don't like something, there's no way I would serve it.
Okay. No, 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 not from a business perspective. I was just wondering. Like for me, I've never been a big fan of donuts. Like I don't know what you'd have to do to me to convince me to have a donut,
Yeah.
right?
Is it like, because it's like mushy and like the texture or the flavor?
I think for me, it's both. For me, it's just like a soggy bread almost that's just sweet,
Yeah.
right? And I just look at it and I go, well, that's just dead calories, first of all, and second of all, what is it? Just nothing. And especially if it's just glazed, and that's just glazed sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I think what you can do, did you try Lofty, the freshly stuffed ones?
No.
So Lofty has a concept and it's a drive-through. So you just go there, you choose your flavor, they get the donut and they stuff it on the spot.
Okay.
So it always tastes a little bit better.
Okay.
Or you can just try my churros. It's a
I
cross
promise you I'll come and try your churros.
between donuts and churros. So yeah, they don't feel soggy.
Next time I invite you on the show, I promise you we'll buy a whole dessert rack and we'll put it here, and then we can try it together, and then afterwards I can get a stomachache because I don't eat sugar. But
And
definitely.
we do have sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free desserts.
Wow, mashallah, it. Wow.
We gotta, because sometimes a group is going and like one person is health conscious or like one person is vegan. So we don't want the whole plan of the group to alter for one person. So we do cater for vegans and.
So do you believe that there is a whole, what's the right word? That gluten-free thing is a real thing?
I mean, apparently people are having stomach aches and they're not feeling well. So.
But is it like MSG that's just like in the head?
I don't think so, because sometimes it's kids. So we do get a lot of kids. If they do eat stuff with gluten, it would just hurt them.
Have you tried not eating gluten for like a week or 2
No.
weeks? Okay. I'd be interested just to hear what your feedback would be, because I've done various different things. I've done intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
which I like the most, which is just like one meal a day.
Does it work?
For me, I love it because I feel a lot more energetic. My mind works a lot crisper, right?
For me, I do know what you mean, because basically I used to order a lot of food. Like, can you imagine when Talabat first opened, after like 3-4 months, they called me and they were like, congratulations, you're like one of our top 3 clients in Bahrain, and we want to give you a gift. And I felt mortified yet happy at the same time.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
I was like, I'm such a badass. Because I used to order everything from Talabat, like literally breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, snacks, gifts, everything.
But I mean, no offense to Talabat, doesn't the food taste better when you eat it at location? I feel like just when you...
That's true, but like for busy people.
Sure.
So what happened then, when I eat a lot of food like from so many places, I always feel like stuffed. I feel like, like sleepy, heck. But now this is where my idea, or the philosophy that came for my food is to use very little oil, very little fat. So no matter how much you eat at Dona's Wonders, and I mean it, there's no way that you will feel like, I can't move anymore.
All right.
It's power.
All right.
Energy.
All right. Well,
healthy stuff.
We'll try it. We'll go and we'll put you. We'll test your words.
Yeah.
But it fascinates me because for me, I always felt tired right after eating. Always.
Yeah.
For me, always, always, always. And the other question I had for you was, for your client base, would you rather them come to your shop to eat, or would you rather have them delivered to your house?
I would definitely dine in, would give them a much better experience. To walk in the old Muharrag, to see the place. We have a gorgeous place. It's filled with art. But like, it's not, I can't say to people like, just dine in, that will kill our business. So.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Yeah. And sometimes you want to enjoy stuff and you can't go to the place every day.
Well, also, I mean, most of your desserts, I imagine, is cold, centered around being cold. So that there's that, which makes things a lot easier for travel. Hot food usually is always
Yeah,
comes soggy.
I try to do like some options that are good for talabat or for delivery in general. Like for example, for breakfast, we make our own brioche buns and we just put inside like a cheese omelette, cheese turkey omelette. Those are great for office or like, just like a quick breakfast. We barely put any butter in the omelette. Like, it's very light. And the brioche is so good, and the portions are not that huge that would make you sick.
I mean, I think at soul or at my stomach, I'm French because I can use a whole stick of butter when I'm cooking.
Oh.
So I don't have, if I'm making steak or anything like that, I cannot promise you
I
half
like
of it.
steak is different. Yeah, but like.
Wow, I know. I love butter. I'll kill anything with butter. In fact, I'll use liquid butter to when I finish the steak, I'll marinate the steak again with liquid butter.
Then you're gonna love our milfai.
You're selling me. You already sold me. I'm coming. You got me. You got me. Have you tried reverse sous vide steak?
Sous vide steak.
Reverse sous vide.
Reverse sous vide. What's a reverse sous vide?
So, traditional sous vide steak is when you seal it airtight in a bag and then you cook it in hot water, usually at like 57 degrees temperature for X amount of hours, anywhere between 4 to 12.
Okay. It actually depends on the weight and thickness, but okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's just...
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm clearly not as experienced as you are when it comes to cooking, but the reverse sous vide method is you get a temperature dial, you put it into the meat, you put it in the oven, you turn it at 80 degrees, and then you let it sit there till it becomes 47 degrees, which is around medium rare. You pull it out, put a hot pan, sear it, which is just like 2 seconds, and when you cut it in, absolutely perfect. My preference is reverse sous vide than traditional
So it's
sous vide.
oven and then searing.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you should come and do it for us at Dona's Wonders.
You,
And if it's good enough, we will put it on our menu and call it Hamad.
Khalas, I will. When I was in London, I have an apartment in London, and when COVID happened, the whole world shut down.
Yeah.
And I was stuck in London for almost a year. Exactly. Well, that's life, right? And my neighbor, turns out that he worked at a Michelin restaurant.
Nice.
As a sous vide chef. And so for almost a year, I was just with him, and we were cooking every single day. And he was very, I don't want to call him nasty, but he was very brutal. He's very much like Gordon.
Gordon Ramsay.
Almost, it's not to that extent, but he called a fool, an idiot. On a daily basis.
That's awful.
Yeah, and he's like, did you sear the sides before you put the steak on? No, chef. Again. Yeah.
But that's pure gold what you got there.
Yeah, I think so as well. It made me very relaxed in the kitchen to be yelled at. Be like, yes, chef. Yeah. You okay?
I'm good. Feel bad for you.
Why? It was a lot of fun. He's coming to London sometime. I'll introduce you to him.
He's coming to Bahrain.
Yeah. Sorry, he's coming to Bahrain sometime.
Yeah, sure.
I'll introduce you to him. He makes an amazing carbonara.
Nice.
With beef, obviously, bacon. But it's really, really, really good.
Cool. I look forward to it.
Any pasta dishes you're a big fan of that you cook by yourself?
I love ravioli a lot.
Ravioli?
Yeah.
Okay. With mushroom?
No, it depends. If it's stuffed with usually ricotta spinach, ricotta and mushroom, for example.
Have you tried truffle stuff?
I love truffles.
Really?
I do. But you gotta get it from the right place. And fresh truffles, not the oil stuff. Because truffle is not... Most of it, not all, most. Truffled oil is not actual truffle.
Yeah, it's just mushroom oil with taste enhancer, right?
Chemicals, yeah. Yeah, but I do love truffles.
What about saffron?
That's tricky. I mean, like, I feel like some people, they misuse it.
Ooh, go on.
Yeah. So when I first came to Bahrain and I had the saffron, I was like, no, that's so not me. Because it's such a strong flavor. You gotta be very careful with it.
Wait. Your first exposure to saffron was in Bahrain?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have it in Lebanon.
Oh, that can't be real.
Yeah, it's not very popular there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's odd.
So I absolutely hated it. But then I tried like few items that where they, because it's all about balance.
Mm-hmm.
If you use it efficiently and just like the right amount, it could enhance the flavor and not overwhelm it.
Have you? Do you? So where? Pardon me. So where would you then put saffron on it?
So saffron can be used like, for example, like balalit.
Oh, this is something. Didn't they used to cook it for weddings?
Weddings?
My dad told me a story, something like that, and he said that for it was like angel hair or something like that. It was very sweet.
Yeah, they put with it rose water, saffron,
And
cardamom, and then they top it with an omelette.
He said something like that they would.
It's in our breakfast.
I mean, my dad grew up as a Bedu, so in Saudi. So he told me all kinds of weird stuff that was going on back in the day.
Saffron, you'd use it on a saffron cake. They're
Sure.
very popular here. The best cafe that makes saffron cake is Doze.
Oh, I think okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
The problem is with some people, when they overuse saffron, it becomes too bitter, and then they add so much sugar to cover it, so it ends up being like so sweet and like. That's why some people would not like saffron much.
Have you not tried saffron on rice?
I do, yeah.
I know there's an Iranian dish that has like zait or butter with rice, and then they put some saffron on it.
True. So good.
It's really good. It's really good.
Usually the misuse of saffron is mostly in desserts than in savory. Savory, you can just kind of cover it with other stuff. But with dessert, it can be disastrous.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't even think of a single dessert other than the one that you mentioned, a dose, that has saffron as a dessert
I actually
item.
now make saffron macaron.
Okay.
And they're really good.
Yeah?
But I just use a hint.
Okay.
Just for a flavor. We do have like also a saffron.
Oil saffron, or do you reuse
the actual one?
The actual.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make like a saffron cream.
Okay.
And we do have saffron milkshake.
Bad.
Yeah. It's very well balanced. Anjad, it's all about balance when it comes to cooking.
So tell me, what is the most popular dish then?
Now, of course, the pari breast.
Really? Because when you said saffron milkshake, my head was like, okay, that's gotta be number one.
Yeah, some people do come for beverages and drinks, but no. People would come to us mostly for breakfast or pari breast. Dessert.
Really? For breakfast of all? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you close at 7, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And for breakfast, we try to cater for everyone. So we have like something very similar to a Lebanese breakfast. It's called bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like seven mini dishes: egg, labne, cheese, jam. I make the labne, and the jam also I make it. Fatteh, this one comes from a Lebanese city. It's called Tripoli. Tastes different than the regular fatteh. And we serve it with also a croissant stuffed with crème mousseline and a veggie platter with some bread. We do have another one. It's called Bahraini with a twist. Now, the Bahraini with a twist is from Chef Fajr. That's the one. So it's basically aubergine aux haricots, which is the eggplant that is roasted with the beans. Egg tomato, balalit, mahyawa with tomato concassé, jarjir, and zinjibari stuffed with cheese and honey.
Wow. So how often are you at the restaurant?
I'm there like for breakfast service every weekend. I'm sorry.
Every weekend. No worries.
And whenever I finish school, I run there.
Okay.
I'm almost there like whenever I have a free time.
And do you feel like at one point you'll have to make a decision between teacher and business owner?
My director at the school has been incredibly supportive.
That's fantastic.
Yes, well, and they invested so much in me since I came to Bahrain, so I would never, I don't think I can leave them. When I came to Bahrain, you know, I majored in English, as I told you.
Then you became a physicist, a chemist, business
And then
major. My God.
I went on with their support and did something called CELTA from the University of Cambridge. It's a teaching certificate for adults. And then later on, they sent me to University of Bahrain. I did also some other teaching courses. And then last year, they sent me to this university in Texas to study about college counseling. So I'm so grateful for my school.
Do you think that a lot of stuff that they have in America when it comes to college counseling is even applicable here in Bahrain?
I made it applicable.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to the professors there and I said, like, listen, guys, you're asking me for assignments that will not be very useful for me when I go to my school and I try to apply them. So why don't we do something? Whatever you try to ask, yani assignment you'd give me, I would try to adapt it to match Bahrain.
Yeah. I can imagine it's not the same curriculum, environment, whatever. Yeah, of course.
They loved the idea. And doing my assignments for that course helped me a lot. Like when we started the school year, everything was ready for me. I just needed to pull my assignments and just put them into actions. Then I did the research, because you know, a college counselor, basically they would ask you to just get all the important data from every university out there. What's the admission rate? What's the process? What are the scholarships? And so on.
Okay, when you say college counselor, I was thinking something totally different.
What
I thought
were you
in
thinking?
psychology, sociology, you know, like where one of the students have some issues, be it emotional or whatever, and they go to the college counselor to go and talk to those issues. That's why my brain was like, what? Wait, what?
So a college counselor basically helps the students access college.
Okay.
But you know, we help them also choose their major. 'Cause
Okay.
some of them, they still not sure.
And how do you do that process here in Bahrain? Do they contact you, the students, or do you have a campaign where you actively contact high school students, families, and stuff?
I do it for my school.
Sure.
So, for example, like we started the program from grade 9.
Okay.
I'm with them at the school every day, so I know the students from grade 9 to 12. We start building their portfolios.
Okay.
We get their CV. We start putting them into career internship. We send them to do some,
MashaAllah. Wow.
you know, like give back for the community. They do a lot of charity stuff, and along the way from 9 to 12. We kind of figure out like what they're curious about. Let's put it like this, not their passion. What do you want to learn more about? And from there, you know, we try to take it and direct them to the right university.
So sorry, I was laughing because I'm not a bad adult, but I was a very bad kid.
Yeah.
And my business teacher every year would go to the local. This was in the UK. We would go to like a old folks home. You know, where old people, elderly home where they live and they take care of them. My business teacher, although he wasn't that old, he looked very old. He looked like a very stressed, and you could tell he had difficulties, you know, in life. And he just looked, he just looked like melted chocolate. he just looked like a disaster. And I remember just looking at him, and I was like helping one of the nurses or something, changing a bedpan or whatever, or talking to one of the older folks. And I just see him take out his phone, and I saw him going outside, right? Like just taking a phone call and going outside. And I look at that and I say, something can be done with this. So I went to find one of the you know, helpers. You know, because some patients have Alzheimer's. Yeah. So they need to like calm them down. They're, you know, bigger guys. You can see where it goes. So I went to him and I said, hey, while you were on the phone, he wasn't on the phone, but I just said, while you were on the phone, I think one of the patients escaped. He put on a suit and just walked out. And then he looked at me and he's like color drained from his face. And he ran out. He just saw my business teacher from the back, the suit and the phone.
Shit.
So they ran out. And then they dragged him back.
Oh my god.
It was amazing. It was amazing because no one believed him because he kept saying, "No, I'm a business teacher." And they just went, "Yeah. What's your name? Do you remember your room number?"
Oh my god.
They had to bring in. They had to bring in the front desk woman who signed everyone in. That he wasn't here.
Did they find out it was you?
Oh no.
That's funny though.
I will never forget these two big guys just picking up each of him one arm and just dragging him back in.
Shit.
Yeah.
Very mischievous.
Hmm?
Very mischievous.
Yeah, I was always in trouble. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. That's why I was laughing when you were telling me that you do community support and stuff like that with the students. So, as the college counselor, sorry, I need to gather my thoughts. So, as the counselor, you help these kids from year 9 to 13. 12, sorry. You put together their CV, their application, and does the school that you work with connect? Are they connected to a university?
Yeah, but that's my job basically. I contact universities. I try to bring them in.
Domestic or international?
Both.
Both, whatever.
Yeah, but like for the international ones, we can. Sometimes they do these conferences.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the local ones, they either come to us or we go visit their campus.
Mm-hmm.
And students can ask their questions and apply whenever they're ready. And it's not
It's because I know that some universities give discounts on your level of score.
True, like scholarship type of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember the name of the university, but I remember one of them here in Bahrain were offering up to something like 60%.
Most of them do.
I found that incredible. Yeah.
Most private schools do have like these offers. And what's special about our school is basically we are a fully inclusive school that caters to special needs and autistic kids.
Okay.
So we do believe in early intervention, and we get like kids as young as 4-year-old. And by the time they reach grade 12, you can never tell that they're autistic or they had any issues. And the huge difference that we impact on the lives of these kids, it means so much to me.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and seeing them now in college and being engineers and studying like IT, mostly they just go for these two fields, engineers or IT, especially like when they are special needs.
Yeah, especially because they don't have to deal with people.
But that's incredible.
No, I there is a clinic here called Touch.
Yeah, I know them.
You know them, right? Yeah. We were their suppliers for textiles, and the deal was, as long as you're helping kids for your staff, I will always provide all the uniforms for free.
That's very nice of you.
Right, and there's never going to be an invoice from me.
Aww.
Ever. So you just tell me what you need, and we'll get that done.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So why did you say your podcast audience is mostly South American?
I think it's because because of the name.
Oh.
I think because the whole idea behind the unsolved truth part, because I wanted to ask people how did they get to the position that they are in, right? You being an entrepreneur, starting as a teacher, coming from Lebanon is not a typical path, because there's plenty of people who are just like you, who came from Lebanon, and still doing nothing. Not nothing in the sense of, they're not.
I know what you mean.
They're not actively trying. They're happy with whatever they're doing, and they go, you know what, khalas. And I feel that's really sad. Can you imagine going through your whole life just doing the bare minimum?
It could be to them. I feel like every person has a certain capacity. Not just like physically, but like emotionally. So
sure,
some people are more capable of dealing with many things at the same time.
Absolutely, but I think we're miscommunicating.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was trying to make it like
A little nicer.
I'm like low key humble. Like,
No, it's not so much that what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who don't like try.
Yeah.
You know, who just like, oh, it's not gonna work.
You get so many.
You know?
Of these people. Like even people around me, they'd be like, they would try to put you down. Or
that as well.
That doesn't work.
ليش؟ يعني why do they feel like خليه هو يعني why do you have to get involved and then try to pull someone down? I think it's because, again, with the whole fragile ego thing.
And I think bad mentality. Some people think maybe they're not meant for greatness. Oh, they think they can't reach that far.
But I don't see it as greatness or potential. I worry in my head, and I think most people don't realize that they're going to die. You know, I think most people think that life is just going to continue on forever, and it hasn't hit their head yet that time is running, and one moment you're going to wake up at 60, and you're not going to be satisfied of where you are in life, not career-wise, not financially, with your relationships with your friends, the relationship with your family. Because instead of, going out and talking to your friends or meeting them or doing whatever, you sat down on the couch and watched TV.
I get you.
There's plenty of people like that, especially the younger generations now that I see who are crazy on the mobile phone or video games. My sister, who's 13 years this year, she doesn't have a single. No, I'm lying. Sorry, she doesn't have more than 2 actual real friends. Like in a room.
Yeah.
All of them are
virtual,
and I'm like, that's not a real place.
It is though.
It isn't. Twitter isn't a real place. Mm-hmm. Instagram isn't a real place, in my opinion.
It will be. I am with and against this. I do feel like the younger generation are much smarter than us.
Sure.
They're more efficient.
I think they're dumber, but yeah, go on.
No. I feel like they're onto something.
You think so?
Yeah. We wasted so much time being nice to people who are assholes. I'm sorry for that.
Wow, look at you coming out of the shell, finally saying something truthful.
And just like faking it. I feel like they're more real than us. They stick to their beliefs or whatever they're feeling. And they have a feeling, they feel entitled to that feeling. They will speak about it. They will talk about it. It's something we were not raised to do. خلاص, I remember being raised and you should always smile and look fine and everything is okay, even if you're not.
Well, I mean, I was raised always, if you smile, the world smiles with you, and if you cry alone. Did that hit home? You just gave me a weird look. Did that hit home? I think it's still true. I think
we were trained or raised to pretend and everything is fine.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was always the kind of guy that always go, there's no point in complaining when there's work to be done. And he was always the kind of man that was. I
get that. That's a good thing. But sometimes it's important to know, it's okay to say no and to stick to your ground and just have boundaries. And I feel like newer generations, they know that. Like
صح. I agree. I completely agree with that. No, totally. I think that but my worry is that the younger generation is so gullible.
Are they?
I mean, have you seen who's famous on TikTok? Gary V, all these people who are selling you crypto, all these people who are selling you like get rich fast schemes. Whenever I see that kind of stuff, hairs on my neck like immediately like go up.
Do people actually believe those? They do.
We have a crypto guy on later on today at 6 who's going to come and talk about his whole enterprises with it and how he's selling businesses here in Bahrain on blockchain and stuff like that. And I'm like,
people made millions on crypto.
Have they? Exactly.
That's what they say.
That's exactly it. Everyone claims that they know somebody or heard of somebody who's, made it big. But I don't believe that money and life and success comes easily. Anything that,
True.
you know, if you have a business, for example, if you're looking for a business consultant and he comes to you or she and says, you know what, I can grow your business by 50% year on year, you're going to run away.
Exactly, yeah.
You're going to be like, what are you talking about?
But well, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of problems and setbacks. And yeah, it's never like a...
Yeah, I know. Exactly. And that's what worries me with a lot of the younger generation. They think they just have to do the right investments on crypto. They just have to buy, an NFT and suddenly they're going to be famous and rich. No?
I feel like maybe, yeah, some of them are like this.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I'm speaking completely out of my ass because I don't have any relationship with any people of that group.
About the youngsters that I know. Like,
exactly. You have the voice of the generation right into your ear whispering. Me, I'm just observing from the far.
Our students are good kids, smart kids.
So what are the kids saying nowadays? What are they into? What are they looking at?
They're into education a lot, and their communication skills are
really
incredible. Yeah.
Girls or guys?
Both.
What?
Yeah, we do have like some great debate teams, and now they have like the United Nations Council kind of thing that they do every year.
Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, they discuss some very interesting topics in there.
Because I know in the Western world, U.S. specifically, most guys are stopped going to university.
Oh.
They're all going back to blue collar work. Welders, plumbers, electricians. In the U.S., you can earn 50,000 BD a year as being an electrician.
Oh wow!
In the U.S., you can, as a plumber, you can earn 60,000 BD.
Wow, that's good. That's very good.
Because there's too many graduates.
Yeah.
Right? And not enough trade skills. Yeah. Somebody has to somehow build a house, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Somebody has to put the electrical line.
True.
And so a welder, especially deep sea welder.
Yeah.
You know how much they earn? 250,000 BD a year.
Nice.
They work six weeks off, 4 weeks on.
Cool. That's good.
Sorry.
Vocational training is very important to any country. And if you think of it, like a lot of countries, I think like South Korea, they do have that a lot. And they do have like special schools, let's say for IT or for, building those electronics or whatever.
Totally agree. What would you like to see in the education system being done? Would you like to see shorter classes, longer classes?
I would like to see more application, to be honest.
Okay, more hands-on, you mean?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Now, especially like with the modern teaching, the way that they tell you is the lowest form of learning is to memorize.
Sure.
And the highest form is to actually apply. So I would love to see all these theories and concepts that we discuss in school. We put it in a way where students will actually have to do something with it, so they would truly understand what they mean.
So from your professional opinion, what do you think of countries like Norway and Scandinavia who only have one exam ever?
Okay, so as a teacher, I do believe assessment is important, just for us to know, not just for the teacher, but for the student to know what's their strength and weaknesses, and because based on that only that you can improve yourself.
They do assessments.
I know, but you said it's once a year.
No, they do assessments throughout, but they don't do an exam.
Oh.
So you can't, there's no
but the exam is an assessment.
No, they do I think a monthly or weekly assessment where they ask like quizzes and questions about the topic that they're studying.
That's what we do here mostly.
And then instead of having like an end of year exam, which is pass and fail, there's none of that. Right? You go from I think 0 to grade 13 or 14, and only at 14 do you have one exam. I don't know if that's good or bad. I really don't know.
I feel like this is not that good, especially for students. Like, what if one kid is struggling that year? You would make him go and learn new concepts and new things that he would need the skills from the previous class, so he can actually excel in this. Well, that's not fair for the kid to waste his life, for him to reach grade 13 and find out like, oh.
And no
I don't
system is
know.
perfect, Donna. This is just one way of they've done it.
In Bahrain, actually, they don't fail kids until grade 4.
Hmm.
So you keep going up because, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is almost the same. You're just building the basic knowledge of the student, giving them more confidence and stuff. But like after grade 4, like 5 and 6, you start learning like some important concepts, and each year will be like a foundation for the year that comes after.
And what's your opinion on Pardon me, what's your opinion on homeschooling?
It will take a very dedicated parent,
Hmm.
and their mental state might be in question for that to succeed.
So do you not think there's a potentiality of a parent potentially hiring a retired teacher, maybe 2 or 3 retired teachers who are now just retired, and do some sort of class system?
It's different, like once a kid wakes up with gets dressed, reaches to that school, is an environment with other kids, because part of the teaching, you don't just learn from the teacher, you learn from your friends. When your friend gives a wrong answer, you know that that's a wrong answer.
Sure,
and
sure,
there's
sure.
another answer. Or let's say your friend gives the right answer, you'd learn from it. Not just this behavior-wise, social skills, emotional intelligence.
True. I mean,
You can't teach that in books.
I mean, statistically seen, homeschool kids, at least in American statistics, that's the only one I'm familiar with. Homeschooled kids do academically better. Academically better.
Yeah.
They also tend to be more successful later on in life. I know it's because the way it's structured with homeschooled kids is that most of these parents make sure that they have loads of activities to do without the day.
Yeah.
So they send them to karate class or football or whatever.
Yeah. You need like a dedicated parent who has nothing to do in life except this.
That's mean. That's
For real.
that's not
And
that's
until
mean.
You're gonna sit like 2-3 hours teaching that kid subjects.
I
You
understand.
need to give them their meals, but then they have the activities.
Understand.
خلص النهار.
خلاص ما عندي مشكلة قاعد تقول, but I'm just saying she's not يعني has nothing else to do in life. That's a little mean. يعني it's nice that she wants to dedicate her life for her child, isn't it? يعني something to be.
I don't know.
No, you know.
I believe in schools, like but yeah. But what I would suggest is for teachers to stop being so traditional and stick to the paper and pen and memorization.
Is that still going on a lot?
Yeah. Not a lot, but it still goes on.
I remember in Saudi, I mean, I grew up in the 90s, so it was a very different world. I remember I was sitting in, I think, I don't know, whatever science class was called back in the day. And كان عندنا exam. قال ها عندنا exam الحين اجلس جالسنا اعطانا ورقة اعطانا قلم قال اكتب كل شيء علمت هذا السنة. That was it.
Oh my god.
That was it. That was like, I remember I must have been like 9 or 10 or something like that. It was like a classroom of like 40 kids, and we were just sitting there with a piece of paper and a pen.
That's so weird.
I had a very interesting educational experience. Yeah, I remember my science class teachers telling me. I remember asking him, يعني ليش اللون الأحمر أحمر? Because it's how light works. Light hits the pigment and then it gets reflected into the eye, obviously. And he قال لا تدوخ نفسك. لا تدوخ نفسك. الله قال أحمر قال أحمر خلاص يلا.
Oh my god.
It was a very different world back then. Yeah.
Interesting childhood.
Hey, you know what? Education was optionary back in the day.
Wow.
Do you still have kids going outside, doing like fahat and all this kind of stuff?
شفحات.
They go to the parking lot and then they do like wheelies with the car.
No.
This doesn't happen anymore. This is khalas. This is all gone.
BIC, Bahrain International Circuit, you can do that sort of thing there.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm 30. I'm not looking to do that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
la.
This is all gone now.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Because my childhood, this was like all the time. Did that not happen when you were growing up in Lebanon?
not like school kids, maybe like the silly ones who didn't go to school.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you worried what you said?
I don't know, because I do feel like people who are into these sort of things, especially like the young ones, like as you described them, would have like a lower IQ than normal.
I mean, that's mean.
Cut this out.
We can. Don't worry about it. So you're a believer of IQ and all that stuff?
Of course. I mean, like, you met so many people. Do you literally feel everyone has got it all up there? Sometimes I wonder, like, how do these people actually survive?
I mean, my problem with the IQ, with the whole test thing, is it's
not the IQ and testing, but I do feel like some people are so dumb.
And there's other people, you look at them and you go, well, that person clearly doesn't live in the same reality. He's seeing, yani,
exactly, yeah.
This,
they live in a totally different universe.
Have you ever met the guy or girl when they have that 1,000-mile stare?
Oh, they just like... I had a girl once and she was like, I have an important question I want to ask you.
Okay, that's creepy.
It was creepy. I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And she's like, if a tree fell in the middle of a forest.
Okay. If no one was there to hear it.
Did it really fall?
Yeah.
And I'm like...
It's such a stupid metaphorical question.
And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, no, think about it. And she got so emotional.
It's this philosophical nonsense, right? And the whole opinion is like, quanto ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Therefore, all external experiences that you cannot like verify, therefore it hasn't happened. It's like this whole philosophy thing.
Yeah, but some people, it's nice to be aware of so many philosophers and so many theories, but then to take it that seriously and to that extent,
and then start crying about it.
It's too dramatic.
I agree. I mean, a lot of people love the idea of metaphysics and philosophy just because it gives them an outlet from the material world. Yeah. But then they're not very well read about it either. They just read like blog posts on Instagram and they go, oh yeah, Foucault said this and all that nonsense. And you're like, Any other financial stuff you want to talk about?
I would say, like, whoever is opening a business, make sure you have a good business plan, do your costing sheet.
Did you have one of those?
Actually, I didn't. And I was they told me you have 2 weeks to open. So everything just, happened. I winged it. But no, like when I was selling my stuff online, I actually had a costing sheet. I thought of it like thoroughly because I didn't want to change prices if I open a restaurant later on. You gotta make sure, Hanjad, that you're making profit. Otherwise, it's not sustainable and it's not worth your effort.
If I mind me interrupting, Dan, do you mind going on YouTube? There's this really great resource for you. Here, that channel there, it's called Upflip. The reason I'm showing you this, he gives fantastic not just business advice on building a business. And they do like catering and kitchen and coffee and restaurant. But he also shares all the Excel documents that they used on how to do the pricing.
That's good. That's very good.
So especially if you're still, like, he talks about how they measure everything by a single unit. And then they divide it by how much units is in one coffee, for example, like X amount of volume, X amount of sugar, X amount of thing. See?
Yeah. I actually did that without knowing this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can download this resource for free.
I actually did that with my dessert because I sat there and I'm like, I can't just like be like, oh, let's just put this X amount. I needed, to make sure, not just the ingredients, my working hours, my effort.
No worries.
My working hours, my effort, and have a good profit margin, and think about later on packaging, because so many people don't think about packaging, and it's pretty expensive here.
Did you know that the McDonald's fries, the packaging costs McDonald's more than the fries?
I believe that, yeah.
And the packaging is also more healthier to eat than the fries as well. You don't believe that one?
Yeah, that's. I was shocked about packaging, to be honest.
So how did you put this all together by yourself?
I have no idea.
now looking back on it, would you do everything the same? Or would you get help
Yeah.
faster?
Actually, no. Like, I'm actually surprised with the things that I thought of back then. Yani. Now, when I'm bringing now a business development, be like, oh, you should do that. And I'm like, I've already done that. And they're impressed. And I'm happy for that. Yani, alhamdulillah. I'm happy with every step I've taken since I opened the restaurant until now. And sometimes it's not me. Oh, I'm such a genius. I thought of it. But, for example, I would get a friend and they're like, let me do this for you. And they would do it, and it turns out to be a success.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like Chef Fajr, when she started the breakfast, mashallah, it's doing great. Like now, mostly people come breakfast.
Do you do the coffee like clip thing?
What do you mean, coffee clip?
Like when they come to a breakfast, that they get like a stamp on a card.
Oh no.
You don't want to? You think that doesn't really suit your brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about selling gift cards? I think that would be a really good.
We don't do discounts. We don't do offers.
No. Gift cards.
Even gift cards. Yeah,
That's totally different.
Yeah.
That's not a discount or anything.
True. This could be nice. A gift card. Yeah.
Because they can give it to like a friend for
True.
birthday.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever.
Hey,
Or for Ramadan, maybe as gift or whatever.
that's lovely.
Yeah. Doesn't cost you very little to set up.
Exactly.
And you can sell those like card thingies, 10 BD, 15 BD.
True.
Then you have cash immediately in the register. And then you can put on an expiry date for 1 month. So
you got 1 month's buddy.
Exactly.
You don't come, your money's
exactly.
That's terrible. No,
Yeah, that's why these things work. Why do you think Nike wants to sell you those gift cards all the time and stuff like that? Because they all have inbuilt expiry dates. And Nike's very bad because whatever gift card you buy from whatever channel is only available for that channel.
Oh.
So if you buy an online gift card for somebody, they can only use it on the online store.
Okay.
They can't go to the location and be like, oh, you know, I got a birthday gift. They'll be like, sorry, no, full price.
Thank you. See, now I got an idea from you, and I get inspired by a lot of people, and sometimes I get inspired by a lot of people.
Do you think there's enough value for your time to go and mingle with other? I mean, I just don't understand. There are communities here in Bahrain that are for entrepreneurs and business owners. But I feel like a lot of the entrepreneurs that I have sitting here have very little interest to actually go to these events, which I find strange because, you know.
You can get inspiration from everywhere. It doesn't have to be an entrepreneur or someone is doing it. Yani sometimes a small interaction with a student or with a parent or it doesn't have to be about my business. It could be that they're sharing something completely different, but it would spark an idea in my mind.
Sure. But the only reason I brought up the subject with business and entrepreneur because for your B2B business, for example, or because it gives you access to more resources and networking ability.
I feel here is more candid.
Yeah? You feel it's more relaxed?
Exactly, yeah.
Good. Happy. All right, we're recording. Everything done? Microphones are on? Yeah. We need to make a checklist at some point, guys. Okay, well, we're back from our little break. Is there anything else you'd like to add on? Anything else that you want to talk about your business? How do people reach out to you, maybe?
Yeah, you can DM me or send me an email. And please do visit us at Dona's Wonders and Mharrag.
Oh my God, the whole podcast, you are a genius in marketing. I mean, we must have brought up your website and shown it maybe 5 or 6 times. I think you're in the wrong field. I think you should be in the marketing field, if anything. Oh, okay, well.
I'm just passionate about that's my baby. And if I don't promote it and believe in it, who will? Who would?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think I think if you want some unsolicited advice, I would like to see your website worked on a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think the font with the logo looks a little weird because it almost cuts on the D.
Yeah.
You know, and on the S.
True.
Any other advice you have for the younger generation watching? Anything else you want to say?
Just believe in yourself and the sky is the limit.
Sky's the
Literally.
limit. That's the final words you want to go on.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a code that says if you really want something, the whole universe will conspire into making it happen.
Oh.
And I'm a strong believer in that.
Do you believe that there's a limit, in the sense of if you've tried X and X and X, at some point, maybe you should try something else?
I mean, like, it depends. It depends on the thing, and it depends if you're curious about it, and it depends on the way you're approaching it. Maybe you just need to approach it in a different way.
Oh. That's such a political answer. I love it. You're very corporate now. Yeah, your mentally has completely switched. From the candidness has disappeared, and now I have the business trained Donna. Well, okay, if there's anything else, please comment, guys. You can reach out to her. Look at her open time. She only is open till 7 for private gatherings. In 7 or more, I think, is for after 7, right? Birthday parties, blah, blah, blah. B2B for events. They should message you, DM. Yeah.